The Executive Associate Athletic Director. He is in charge of the Mission Valley Development for San Diego State. Derek Grice is joining us this morning. Derek, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Steve, how are you?
I am doing wonderful. Thanks for joining us this morning. You know, we have an opportunity because, we're not, our station is situated not too far from the Mission Valley site. And if you head down the 15 and go to the 8, you can see everything that's been going on from the taking down of the old stadium and the progress being made on the new stadium. I know we've been talking 2022. At the looks of things, it looks like you'd be ready for 2021. Just give us an update, an overview, and we'll get into some specifics, but an overview on the development of the project and where we stand right now in terms of timing.
Well, it's a sight to behold, isn't it? It's a beautiful sight for all of us that have put so much time, energy, and effort into this project. It's coming along really nicely. We have an amazing team behind this project and have really pushed through and put us in a wonderful spot. As of now, everything is on schedule and on time for us to make our opening date of September 3rd, 2022 versus the University of Arizona there in Aztec Stadium. So progress has been wonderful.
Derek, for people, I mean, we've seen some pictures, and I remember the big launch on what the new stadium was going to look like when it's finished. But remind some of our listeners out there on what exactly the new Aztec Stadium will have in terms of a fan experience.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that we talked an awful lot about, and our J.D. Wicker, our athletic director, kind of gave us an arbitrary kind of equation on this, and we kind of took it to heart, which is we want a stadium to be 60% stadium and 40% unique to San Diego. And what he meant by that is every stadium has to have seats and concessions and restaurants, but how do we make it unique to this region, to this area, a home for all San Diegans? And so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're focusing on hyper-local foods. We're going to make sure that we have craft beer and those types of pieces in place in the stadium, that we're going to draw from the architecture around San Diego, those unique features, take advantage of this unique climate and do those. One of the examples of that is the piers, this, kind of an ode to the area in the coastline here where that section is a standing room only section with some associated seats where we can stand, and it actually juts out over towards the field, and you get a new unique perspective, unlike any other stadium in the country where you can be connected to the field. We're also going to have a lot of areas that are unique standing room only experiences and other experiences throughout the stadium that you're only going to get in Southern California.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about, so in terms of when we get to opening game of 2022 in the brand new Aztec Stadium, how much other development will be ready to roll once the stadium is ready to be opened?
The stadium will be the first piece of a much larger project. Obviously, there's 166 acres there in Mission Valley that SDSU's developing. Shortly after the stadium comes online, which will be the first thing, everything else will be horizontally graded out and ready for vertical construction to begin as early as 2022. So you may see some plots where residential retail will be, you might see those under construction fence ready about close to opening day. The River Park, which is situated just south of the stadium, will also be under construction. It'll come online sometime around 2023, the summer of 2023. So not very much longer after the stadium comes on. And then you'll start to see other construction around the stadium happening in 2022 and 2023, whether that be the Innovation District buildings or whether you see residential retail.
Derek Grice is joining us, Executive Associate Athletic Director for San Diego State in charge of the Mission Valley Development. Derek, I mean, you've been involved with projects similar, but when you walk into this property in Mission Valley, I mean, when you're talking about prime real estate and just the magnitude of this overall project and ultimately what's going to be there for future generations in the city, for someone like you, it's got to be like a dream. Like, I mean, where else on the planet do you get an opportunity to develop a property like that?
You know, when JD called me right after the measure passed and we started talking about this possibility, I got a little giddy. The opportunity to be a part of something special like this, the vision that the institution has and the university has for this piece of property is special and it's transformational for not only SDSU but for all of San Diego. The Innovation District and the ability for our faculty, staff, and students, and then local companies to leverage that for research purposes. The much needed residential there, the ability to build much needed park space and create a sense of place in Mission Valley is a pretty special thing to be a part of. And obviously, the stadium is going to be a game changer for us in athletics. And also for everybody in San Diego as we build a venue that's going to be a hub of activity 365 days a year and a place for people to create memories. So I'm really excited about the future and could not be more grateful to be a part of it.
And I've talked about this for years, how important it is to have these type of facilities available. Obviously, you have Viejas. You have Tony Gwynn Stadium. You have just beautiful facilities. The only missing piece was a football stadium. And when you look to the future, Derek, and the ever-changing landscape of these conferences, they're going to be looking at San Diego State, not just because they have successful athletic programs, but they have the necessary facilities. You have an opportunity to, no knock on the Mountain West, but maybe graduate to a higher level Power 5 conference, all because you've added this one missing piece to the equation.
I think for us, it is our responsibility to always put SDSU in the best possible position we can. And that means developing first-class facilities. That means having the best coaches. That means having the best staff, making sure we're doing the right things for our student athletes and giving them opportunities both on the field and off the field and taking care of them. That's our responsibility. We'll let all the other chips fall where they may. But I agree with you. There's an opportunity here. We believe that this project could be a catalyst not only for athletics, but also for the institution with the ability to add additional much-needed space and to grow our capacity and really elevate our academic standing with the research development and those pieces. So this project is a big, I believe it's going to be a catalyst for the future for SDSU as a university as a whole.
All right, one final thing here, Derek. So Fletch, our esteemed producer / board op / co-host / everything, he passes by that intersection every single day. So he has been seeing the skeleton of the stadium, but he wants to know what is the next thing we'll be able to see. He wants to get a preview of what is the next step. Now that we got the skeleton of the stadium, what's the next step?
You know, we're at a milestone. Next week, we'll put in the last piece of steel, what's traditionally called topping out. We'll be placing the last piece of steel, which is always a momentous moment for any project. Shortly after that, once the cranes are removed for the steel, you'll start to see us pouring some cast-in-place concrete for the tread and riser, which is actually the lower seating bowl. We'll continue to pour those. You'll really see a push on pouring the south and the west through July and August. And then in August, you'll start to see precast concrete, which will form the upper bowl. That concrete will start rolling in, and we'll be putting in concrete from August through October. And then kind of gets into some special things are going to start happening in November, December. You'll start to see the video boards going in place. And then by December, we'll start placing the first seats in the stadium. And so by the turn of this year, you're going to really see the stadium start to take shape and look like a multi-purpose stadium there in Mission Valley.
Derek, you guys are doing things that many people thought never possible here in the city of San Diego. to actually, and I remember we were talking years ago about this whole project. Once you acquired the property and the projection of a 2022 opening, people were laughing. Never in a million years in this city will they able to get this thing done on time. We're going to keep our fingers crossed that everything just continues to motor along. Derek, great work out there. We can't wait to see it once it all is done. Appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. Can't wait to have you there.